Okay, today I'm talking about multiplying fractions, and we've got more than one situation with fractions that I want to discuss. First of all, what do you do when you have a whole number multiplied by a fraction? And you can see I've got an example here of 8 times 3/4. And just remember, anytime you see a number by parentheses, it does mean to multiply what's outside the parentheses by what's inside the parentheses. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to turn the whole number into a fraction by putting it over a denominator of 1. So you can see I've done that. I put 8 over 1, which was the whole number, and then I got rid of the parentheses, put the multiplication sign times 3/4. Now, when you're multiplying, you usually multiply across the top, which is you multiply your numerator. So I could have done 8 times 3 is 24, and then 1 times 4 would be 4. So it would have been 24 over 4. Well, that would mean 24 divided by 4, which becomes 6. Or the other way you can do it, and I really prefer this second way, which is why I showed it, you can first do what's called cross-canceling. And notice I have a note about it down here. Cross-canceling simply means dividing by the same number with the numbers across from each other diagonal. So, what number can go into 4 and 8? And you try to use the highest number possible. And so the factor would be 4. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. I put my little 1 there. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now when I multiply across, I use my reduced amount. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 1 is 1. So it's 6. And so you can see you can come up with the same answer either way, but I just think, especially as you get into larger numbers that you're dealing with, it's best to reduce first. Okay, let's look at another situation. A mixed fraction. Okay, what's a mixed fraction? It's where you have a whole number and a fraction together. So 3 1/5 times 2/3. All right, so before we can even begin, we need to change our mixed fraction into what we call an improper fraction. So we get rid of the whole number this way. We take the denominator and we multiply it by the whole number. So 3 times 5 equals 15. Then we take our 15 and we add the numerator to it, which is 16. So we take that 16 and we put it over the denominator, 5. Now we can go ahead with our improper fraction. We can go ahead and start the multiplication process. And again, we want to look to see, can we cross cancel it all? And 3 and 16, they do not have any common factors, and neither does 5 and 2, so we're not going to be able to do that this time. So this time, 16 times 2 is 32, and 5 times 3 is 15. Now, we can do it this way. 32 divided by 15, remember that's one of the meanings of this bar is divide by. So 15 can go into 32 2 times, which is 30. We get a remainder of 2. And instead of keep going and turning it into a decimal, if we want to just keep it in fraction form, your remainder becomes your numerator. Okay? And then you keep the same denominator. And so what we have now is 2 from here, and then we take our remainder and it gets placed over the 15. Okay, so we have 2 and 2/15, and that cannot be reduced. Now I put a little extra information right here because sometimes you're multiplying positives together, other times negatives, and other times negatives and positives. So this is just a little reminder, when you multiply, if you multiply 2 positives, your answer remains positive. If you multiply 2 negatives, your answer becomes positive. If you multiply a negative and a positive together, the answer is negative. Hope this helps you with multiplying your fractions. Thanks.